Hello everyone, welcome to Programming Cradle. It feels like ages since I made my last video, and I think it's been more than 30 days. So yeah, the past month was actually really very intensive. So I took deep learning and big data as my modules, and there were multiple projects in each of the modules. So I think that's why I didn't get much time to make videos. But then I think now I have time, and now the second block of second semester has modules like group project and data science in the wild. So once I will have much more clarity about these two modules, I will make another video about that. But in this video, we'll be discussing about my previous modules, which were deep learning and big data, and the projects which I did, so that you will get better understanding of what type of project you can expect in masters. And with that, you will probably get a better you can make your mindset, and probably you can learn a bit ahead of time, and maybe before coming to masters. Like if you are applying for 2022 September intake, you have a lot of time. So in the time when you are applying for different universities, or maybe you're waiting for the confirmation, you can invest your time in learning these concepts, so that it will make your journey a bit easier when you will start your masters. So yeah, that's what I will be discussing in this video. And if you again have anything very specific, you can always ask me in the comment section. If needed, I will make a dedicated video about that. And if it doesn't require much of explanation, I will reply it in the comment section. So with that being said, we'll start our video. But as always, if you are new here or if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please go subscribe to the channel and be a part of Programming Cradle family. And also hit the bell icon so that you get notified each time when a video goes live. And if you end up liking this video, please give it a thumbs up. It keeps me motivated to make such videos for you guys. So with that being said, now let's start our discussion. So now first let's talk about deep learning module. So in deep learning module, we had a total of 4 tasks. Literally they were projects, but let's call them tasks. So the first task was to implement CycleGAN. Not exactly implement CycleGAN, but to use existing code on the internet. So you can find various implementation in like PyTorch, TensorFlow, and Keras as well. So you just had to use those codes, and you had to just pump in your data and see how the model is working. And if you have time, you can always tweak around the network, and maybe you can optimize that particular model as per your own data set. But like I told you, there were many projects, and you will get to know once we will reach towards the end of this video. So I didn't have much time, so I just took the code and just changed some parameters like number of epochs and how many images to use, resolution of the images, so things like that. So I changed those things and I ran the model. It did something, but it was not really good, so that I have kept for like future scope. So I will again try that in my own time to see how exactly it is doing, and I will probably change the network architecture as well. So that was the first project, CycleGAN. So yeah, I didn't tell you what exactly we had to do. So in that we had human faces and we had animal faces. So and in animals we had just dogs and cats. So we had to convert human faces to animals faces. So that was the whole idea behind CycleGAN in our project. You can do like horses to zebras, or zebras to horses, or maybe paintings to photos, or photos to paintings. So there are many other applications of CycleGAN, and there are many different implementations on the internet. So I will again leave some of the link if you are interested in reading about CycleGAN. I will leave the link to the paper and also some of the implementations in various frameworks into the description, so you can always check out those links. After that, let's move on to our next project that we had as part of our deep learning module. In that, we had to make a bird classifier. So the dataset is again available on Kaggle. I will leave the link to the dataset in the description. So if you want to play around, you can do that. So in that, we had when I downloaded the dataset, it like a month ago, it had 375 classes, but now if you download, it might be having 400 or maybe 400 plus classes, because the dataset is being updated on regular basis. So yeah, and each class has around 150 images. So we had to make a classifier, and we had to classify which bird is which, or from which species. So that is what we had to do. And we again use CNN and different, and we had to reach a certain level of accuracy. So if you get like more than 95% accuracy on your test data, you will get more marks, and if you get less than that, you will get less marks. So if you get 95 plus accuracy, you will get 5 marks, and if you get like 90 to 95, you will get 4 marks, and so on so forth. The marks will keep on decreasing. So yeah, that is what. So you had that pressure, like, okay, I need to optimize my model. So I used transfer learning. I tried several models like ResNet VGG16 and Inception V3 and Exception. So Exception worked best for me, but then for several people ResNet worked well. So it again depends on how many layers you are training, and what layers are you attaching after taking the weights from the pre-trained model, and again what hyperparameters you're using. So it depends on a lot of things. So for me, Exception worked really well. If you want to see the implementation, you can go to my GitHub and you can see the implementation. You will find a repository called as bird classification. So you will find that. So yeah, that's what I did for bird classification, and that was our second task or second project, you can say. Third one was text generation. So in that we had a book written by Agatha Christie, and we had text from that book, and we had to do a lot of processing, maybe removing special characters, punctuations, and all those things, and then train our LSTM model or maybe GRU model, and then it will generate some more text for us. So the task was to input some text. It can be from anywhere on the internet, and the model should generate text from the book. So that is what we had to do, and we had to make our model flexible enough to enter any length of the string. So let's say we have trained our model which can take only 20 characters or maybe 20 words, and we created a data frame in that way. But then when we are testing our model, it should be flexible enough to take any number of sentences. So I used padding, and also I used truncating. So I used those things, and it worked fine. I mean, it didn't generate sentences which make complete sense, but if you just don't focus on the meaning of the sentence, it was doing fairly well. I mean, it was not repeating things, and it was using right words. So it was again a good thing. So this was the third task. The last task was paper reading session. So as you all know that deep learning is really fast growing field, and you cannot actually just read a book and you can say, okay, I know all of the deep learning, because by the time you will finish reading that book, probably deep learning would have moved like ages ago, because by the time that book got written, printed, and all those things, and it reached you, and then you finish that book, there are many things which are coming on daily basis. So we had this session where we had to read 2 papers. The first one was related to CycleGAN. Again, I'll leave that link into the description. And the second one was related to dropouts. So if you want to read that paper as well, I will again leave the link in the description. So we had to read those 2 papers, and we had to present in a presentation format where what type of difficulties we faced while reading the paper, what did we learn from it, and what approach did we use while reading the paper. So if you guys want me to make a video where I can explain you how you can read a research paper efficiently, of course I'm not expert by any means, but I have learned something from these modules, so probably I can share those things. So if you are interested, do let me know in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to do a video about that. So yeah, this was our fourth task, where we had to present our paper, whatever paper we read, and what we learned from it. So this was whole of deep learning, and we did like 3 projects and 1 more task, additional paper reading. But it takes time to read paper, because you have to read paper in multiple iterations. I mean, if you're good at reading the paper in just one go, that's well and good, but for me, I read it in different iterations. So again, I mean, I can explain this in a whole video, so that is for a different video, I guess. So yeah, we did like 3 projects and paper reading in like 2 to 3 weeks, I guess, because we had to cover lecture as well. So for first 2 weeks, we covered important lectures whichever were needed for our projects, and then we started working on these projects. So yeah, it was really intensive. But then this is not all. We have big data as well. So we had one more module which was going in parallel, big data. In that, we started learning from MapReduce, Hadoop architecture, all those things, and then we moved on to PySpark. And the whole assignment was on PySpark. Unfortunately, I cannot share that assignment with you guys because it was developed all by the professors of the university, and it is intellectual property of the university, so I cannot share that thing. But then yeah, it was related to PySpark. So we had like New York taxi data. You can find it on Kaggle. It's really huge data. So we had different size of the data. So we had small, medium, large, XL, double XL. So these were the different size of that same data, and we had to do some cleaning on the data and then do some analysis. So all these things were supposed to be done in PySpark, because if you do it using normal pandas, it might take ages, or it might not even do anything because it will just crash, because it won't be able to load everything in your memory. So we had to use PySpark, and we had a certain level of performance that we had to reach. Like we cannot exceed this much of time while processing. So they had given all the boilerplate code. We just had to fill in the functions and write our own logic to perform the tasks which they had told. So the first task was remove all the zeros. The second one was remove all the outliers based on z-score. Third one was to see to get zone names from zone ID. So we have one zone lookup table where we have all the zone ID and zone names. So we had to merge those two tables, and then we had to perform some analysis like which zones are more profitable, from which zone more people are coming, so and which zone has a lot of traffic. So we had to do all these kind of analysis using PySpark. So again, it was really a fun project. I really liked it. And then again, you had to write as optimized code as you can, because your task cannot take longer than certain time. So, and also we worked on Databricks platform. So we were working with two different file types, Parquet and Delta. So, and also we had to compare times between Parquet and Delta. So Delta is being developed by Databricks. So obviously that particular data type or data format will work much faster as compared to Parquet, and that's what we observed. It was significantly faster. So if you are working on Databricks platform, it is advisable to use Delta file format or data format. That will really make your life easier. So this was the first task of big data. Second was about Neo4j. So Neo4j is a graph data structure, or if you have graph data, you can analyze that data in Neo4j. So that's what we had as our second task. So in that, what we had to do, whatever final data we got from our PySpark assignment, we had to put that in our Neo4j, and then we had to perform some graphical analysis, like which zones have similarity among themselves, and which zone has a lot of people coming in or maybe going out, and then which zones you can deploy your fleets or cars or taxis so that you can maximize your revenue. So these kind of questions we had to answer from our Neo4j assignment. So I think so far I have discussed literally all the projects which I did in like past month, you can say month. So you can see like it was really intensive, but then I learned a lot and it was really fun, because I like this fast-paced learning where I don't really have much time to do anything else. But then yeah, I enjoy doing all these things. So it was really fun for me. So if you are coming for masters and you want to do it in a year, which is being taught in other countries in like 2 years, so you have to be mentally prepared. Like, yes, learning is going to be really very fast. So again, you have time, you can invest that time in learning some basic concepts. If you are very new to programming, it's better to learn some programming, maybe Python. If you want, you can learn R or maybe any programming language, because if you know any programming language, it will make your life bit easier as compared to know nothing. Or maybe you can brush up on your statistics if you already know programming, and then you can again take some Udemy courses related to machine learning, or you can take literally any course whichever you like. So you can do some courses when you have time. So I had time. I had done like applied AI course, if you don't know, before coming here, because I was applying to the universities, but then I thought, okay, I have more time left, so I can just take some course and I can learn from it. So it is again helping me a lot. So if you feel like you will need something like that, you can do that. But then again, every university has different course curriculum. Not all universities are this intensive. Some universities are covering few modules, but then they're giving students a lot of time to learn. For me, I had some background, so for me, I think Newcastle was the best option, and I really like this because, again, I have discussed this in one of the earlier videos. Like here, you get all the lectures. You can watch them at your own pace. If you like to go faster, you can go faster. If you like to watch them slowly, you can watch them slowly. So you don't have to sit in lecture hall for like hours whole day. And I mean, I cannot just focus on lecture for whole day, but I mean, I lose concentration after just 10 minutes or something like that. I know it doesn't sound good, but then yeah, I sometimes try like really really hard, but then it just doesn't work for me. So yeah, for me, this setup is working very well. But if you are someone who feels like you will need more time, so one thing you can do is you can learn beforehand things, so that you will have some idea about different terminologies, and hopefully your journey will be much easier after coming here. So yeah, I think this is what I want to discuss in this video. But again, if you have something specific, you can always ask me in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to help you, or you can also reach out to me on LinkedIn. And about Telegram group, we have got this copyright infringement. I'm not too sure why. Maybe somebody would have shared some torrent link in the group, so that's really sad. I have mailed Telegram team. I hope they will reply soon. If not, I will probably create a new group, and you guys can join that, because it was really a nice community, because everybody was discussing their queries, and they were actually getting very much beneficial things from there. So I'm really sad about that, but I hope things get resolved. If not, I will just create a new group, and hopefully we can start from scratch. And I'm really thankful to many of you who were there in the group, because you guys have been very great support um, in keeping that community going. So I'm gonna bring that community again. We will build that again. So yeah, we will see that. And if you want to download data science notes, again, link is in the description. You can download data science note. You can learn from that, and probably it will make your journey much easier in the data science field. So this is it for this video. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It keeps you motivated to make such videos for you guys. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and comment, all those good things as always. So yeah, this is it. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye. Happy learning.